Hi everybody, welcome back to On Thought, and this is my interval and a bit of my thoughts that I'm going to be sharing with you about how things have been over the last few weeks, and also I am going to be sharing with you some feelings on those who have passed on, those who have left this dimension to go to the other dimension. And this is just bouncing off thoughts and sharing with you where I am right now. So, over the last couple of days, I think maybe last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of visitations from loved ones who have passed on. I'm talking about their presence. I'm talking about those who have been gone for a long period. Sometimes when when a person that you love passes on, over time their energy starts to become much lighter, and then you start to feel their presence more as opposed to seeing them around, smelling them. You now start to feel them. So it's almost like you're going through stages with them as they're also growing and becoming more aware of where they're going themselves. Because as far as I'm aware, and what I've been investigating and researching over many years, that when you have lived a specific lifestyle or a specific life path in this dimension, and this may be new or this may be old news, but I'm just sharing with you my take on it over the last few weeks. There is a change in terms of their presence. Perhaps it's also got to do with us becoming more aware that we are experiencing more of their presence around us. The way that I experience those who have passed on is more or less the same as if I would experience any person coming into this room. That is how clear it is for me. So sometimes it's not always easy to differentiate between those who are alive and those who are not. I can often hear them speak to me or touch me. And when I speak about those who do that, if it's a loved one, yeah, you would accept that. If it's sometimes they are foreign, they may also try to reach out and touch you. I don't ever get freaked out at all. They're just like us. I mean, yeah, as if we were in the living. So my findings over the last week or so is the fact that we've been going through an astrological shift that has to do with the way that the light or the heavenly lights or the luminaries have been going at an angle. And it's not that I have not noticed this before, but I'm just choosing to share this specific thing with you. This is the beginning. So the year, which is based on time, we have people who pass on all the way or throughout the timeline. It doesn't matter specifically when or so, but there's a definite adjustment to half of the year where there seems to be more people passing through it. And what I've seen is that it's got to do with the way that the astrological or luminary lights, which is all the heavenly bodies or the sunlight, hits the moon. So it's almost like they cross each other where there's an angle. So it's the way that the angle curves. It's a curve that allows you to see that you could actually go through the gates, passing on, also coming in. So when someone passes on and another one comes in, obviously it's the same sort of door. Everybody goes through one particular door. Not that I'm saying that there aren't any other doors anywhere else, or gateways, but specifically more so the doors that we're sharing within ourselves as well, since we're also partly connected to being portals ourselves. And what I found was a time or a moment or an opportunity for myself to actually go into that particular door to see what it's like. Not that I've not seen it before, but I choose to sometimes connect with those who have passed on, because we can often get objective perspective if we speak to those. It's just my own personal interest. And throughout all of this, I've found that the same way that we would create in this dimension, as I've discovered, or as I've brought out before, as I've shared with you before, that this particular dimension is extremely malleable. It means whatever you're thinking and you're feeling, the frequency of your intensity, of your intention, if it's focused in a specific way, it does come through. I am going to be bringing some information about this specific magic event at some point. I will be bringing it up with you. I will just be sharing with you ideas and thoughts on it, as I always do. But that aside, when you enter into the doorway of where the ones are that have passed away or passed on, and I like to refer to people, our spirit family, our spirit people. Our family is also our spirit family. Spirit people, not ghosts or whatever you want to call it. I'm not derogatory. One should not be derogatory to those who have passed on. It's as if you would be insulting your family member. I mean, they're right alongside us. And where you would normally use the ability to bring creative thoughts into your consciousness from your subconscious level, so the as above so below energy reaching in the same place through your heart, and you're projecting that energy in and around you in this reality, the same process takes place outside of this reality, outside of the living, this particular dimension or reality. And once you've let go of this physical form, and this physical embodiment really is connected to the dimension and the reality of this specific plane, you do experience a different form of creation. And I've seen this now quite a lot, where a person that you know who has passed away, I'm going to use an example, my grandmother, for example, and when I went to visit her, she was as if I could spend physical time with her. And how that happened for me was through a dream or a lucid dreaming process. And it's not that I go into any particular deep trance-like meditation or anything like that. I just think about her, or I think about how she is, and within a few seconds I'm literally there with her. That is how swift it is. And throughout the process of observing and connecting with her and giving her telling her how things are, because it's real time, she actually asks about real things. It's not like I did test that as well to see that it's not just in my head. Well, of course we all do that. We have to be the healthy skeptic. I see then that she has from a particular time progressed to having her friends there who are communicating with her. Friends that she knew that would come and visit, well, like what happened last night when I was dreaming about her. And we would communicate with her, and she would often she changed the place where she lived, where she is living. She had taken from places, areas where she was, where she's always been happy. Like, let's say she's moved a lot. She's taken aspects from all the houses and the places, the properties that she's lived, and she's combined the whole lot together, and she's basically created a better sort of living space for herself. And she said to me once that it's easier, and it's almost also dangerous as well, because if you had to leave your physical form and pass on, and you were under some kind of distress or some kind of dangerous thing that happened to you before, then that would be there. You would be finding yourself in that moment, and that moment would then be replicated or created in your particular space of where you are. Now, I know that the process of dying has a lot to do with your personal path, your life path, where you're going. And there are some who choose to be greeted by those who are there to welcome you, like a welcoming committee. And I've also mentioned that when you pass on and you don't want to reincarnate back, because that reincarnation process, aside from the fact that there are entities and energies that actually scoop up the energy with light, and I've discussed this before, that you can either allow yourself to go into that light. There is a choice. It's not like you're getting hoovered up by some cosmic electrolux or anyway, you know what I mean. So what I'm basically wanting to tell you is you have a choice as you're passing out of your physical form and going into the reality that you choose to go into. The yearning to reconnect with the great spirit, it is there. And it is not through lights. That's what I found. It's through a soft, kind quietness. It's as if you're in the womb and you're going through that process. You choose to decide whether you want to come back or not. And there are those who are perhaps family members from other timelines that do connect with you, depending on your process, on your life path, as I've said this before. So what I want to share with you is the fact that there should be no fear when you do leave, when things change for you, when you've gone through things. Just that when you're out of your body, that you just take care of what you remember. Choose to remember the good things. I think this is why it was said somewhere that you should gather treasures that cannot be affected by the earth, or that's non-earthly treasures or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but just you should work on your conscious thoughts, your things that you gather, the treasures that you gather every day, even if it's just to listen to little birds or whatever it is that works for you. Reading that book that you've been reading for 5 years that's still next to your bedside, perhaps just like read it or something. There's a reason you chose it. Wrapping up of energies, yes, but not under the place, not under the conscious thoughts or fears that you're doing this to hurry up things along or anything like that. Just as I said to you, these are my thoughts that I'm just sharing with you randomly, and I thought I'd just connect with you as an interval. So I wish for you guys to have a very beautiful week going forward. Have a awesome rest of your day and of your night. And thank you so much for always connecting and always supporting. And it's really good to see and feel that connection. And we are all going through this. Like I always say, we are Great Spirit. And we are in the cosmic forces as it moves around us. Thank you very much. Bye.